You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. New customers join today and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. So on today's Locked On Yankees, it's Fanmail Friday. It's another Friday. We're here. So I'll be answering all of your questions. And I don't know why I said it with a strange accent, but I don't know. Sometimes the American standardized English that I learned in college in the Stone Age comes out of my mouth. So fans submit the questions if you're new here. Two ways, either through YouTube comments, and some questions are from YouTube, or if you join our Locked On Yankees Insiders Club, there's a link in the description. You get a 14-day trial and you text back and forth with me. And some of the questions were asked by our insiders. And as you know, if you watch the show, our insiders get top priority. So we're going to start with an insider question. This one comes from Chris. Random question for you, Stacey. If you could choose one song to be your walk-up song, what would it be and why? I love this question because I used to ask this question all the time when I was at Yankee Stadium. I don't know why. I just would randomly start conversations with people sitting around me. And I asked a bunch of people around me what their walk-up songs would be. And this was in the early 2000s. And it's really funny because my walk-up song has not changed. It's A View to a Kill by Duran Duran. Duran Duran's my favorite band of all time. I love the opening of the song, and I think it would be funny to strut up to the plate to the opening of that song, and that has always been my choice for walk-up songs. And it's funny, I was thinking about different guys and their walk-up songs. Derek Jeter came out to Without Me by Eminem in the '02 season, if I recall correctly. Paul O'Neill used to come up to Baba O'Reilly by the Who, Spirits in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum. Before Bernie Williams used to have walk-up music, and then he started walking up to Silence, which was kind of unnerving. But back in 93, 94, he used to walk up to the plate to Come Baby Come by K7. And if you're old enough to remember that, you're old. So thank you for the question, Chris. I love that question. And A View to a Kill by Duran Duran. Easy choice for me. And let's see, question number 2 from Aaron. If Cole hit the market this offseason, what do you think his AAV would be? And then he added hypothetically, of course. Let's not think of a scenario where he does opt out and hits the market, okay? But if he does, considering what Zach Wheeler got, I would think Cole would command a lot of money. Obviously, it would be a shorter deal because he's older. But, I mean, if Zach Wheeler's getting over $40 million, if Trevor Bauer got $40 million, if Max Scherzer is getting or was getting that much money, you have to think that Garrett Cole could possibly get his uniform number, 45 million, right? It only makes sense. That would be something. But let's hope that he doesn't enter the market this offseason. Let's hope everything goes well. The Yankees make the playoffs, make a great run, win the World Series, win 28. Cole's happy, Judge is happy, Soto's happy. They get Soto back. We'll talk about him in a bit. And Cole doesn't want to leave. We'll put that out into the universe. Now, there was another question from an insider that I was going to use today, but I'm actually waiting until next week, not Fanmail Friday. I'm going to use it as a jumping off point for a segment next week. So if I didn't read your question, that's why. I will be answering it next week, or at least discussing it next week. Our next question comes from YouTube, Stephen Rhodes, 9746. Do you see Spencer Jones getting called up later in the year at all? Or like all of the naysayers with our starters in spring training, are we all putting too much stock in his, albeit incredible, performance against nobodies? If Spencer Jones gets called up to the Yankees in 2024, a whole lot of stuff went wrong for the big league club. And that's nothing against Jones. I just don't think he's ready yet. And I mentioned this on the show the other day. I feel like he needs to cook a little more. And yes, he had a very impressive spring, and it's great to see that. And hopefully he keeps it up, but he's only in AA. He needs to get to AAA, and then he can come to the majors. I really see him maybe coming up in 2025, maybe not starting with the Yankees in 2025, but making it to the team in 2025. I feel like 2024 is too soon for Spencer Jones, but let me know what you guys think about that, because maybe I'm wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. The next question comes from Gold Cool 5. Can you see Soto be the reason why a brawl occurs because of his showboating? No, he's been doing that for how long? And I don't recall there being a brawl because of Juan Soto doing the Soto Shuffle. So I don't see that happening. I feel like more and more guys are being expressive on the field, and I like it. If you give up a home run, that's your fault. You threw a bad pitch, or maybe you just got bested by a really good hitter, and they just happened to hit the ball and celebrate. But I don't see anything wrong with guys celebrating, and I really don't think another team is going to start a brawl because of showboating. I feel like brawls happen now because of hit by pitches and beanings. Not beanings. Beaning is when you hit someone in the head. And most of the time when that does happen, it's just a matter of someone losing control of the ball. You never see anyone purposely throw at someone like that. I feel like that's an old school thing that's kind of gone away a bit. Thank goodness, because it's unnecessary. But no, I don't think Soto would be a reason for a brawl. I don't think so. Okay, one more in this segment from Teacher Sama, weekly question asker on YouTube. Hello, Stace. I'm with you on the stop worrying about Rodon train since it's just spring training. The guy's healthy, and that's what matters so far. He's adapting his repertoire. My question is, do you think an extra arm is needed for the rotation? Just in case. I think Mike Clevinger is still a free agent, and Matt Blake worked with him in the past. I really feel like at this point, the Yankees are set. I don't think that anything is going to happen with the rotation until the trade deadline. And I feel like it doesn't matter if the Yankees are good or if the Yankees are, struggling a little bit to get something going. Like if they're right there in the standings in the AL East with the Orioles and the Jays, and, there's like a clear path to the playoffs, but they need something to push them over the top. I think a deal at the trade deadline will be made for a starting pitcher. But then again, you never know if the aforementioned Rodon doesn't pick things up and has another iffy season. Maybe they go for 2, but how would they go for 2? Do they even have enough depth anymore to get 2 starting pitchers? I know they have enough depth for 1. So yeah, I think they're done making moves, and I feel like trade deadline will be the time when they do that. So thank you for your question. I hope I answered it. Clevinger is an interesting option. It's also surprising that I didn't realize how many guys have still not been signed, and it's March 7th. The season starts in 3 weeks here. What are we doing? Why are there so many guys still sitting out there? It's ridiculous. You have a reigning Cy Young winner still unsigned in Blake Snell. I don't understand what's going on in baseball right now, but that's a rant for another day. And if I start ranting about it now, it'll never end. So thank you for your question, Teacher Sama. Don't forget to reply to the pinned comment on our videos from Monday through Thursday if you want your questions answered for Fanmail Friday, or you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You'll get texts from me, and you can text me questions if you want to. There's a 14-day free trial, so it doesn't cost you anything for 2 weeks, and you can unsubscribe if you want to, but I don't think you want to. I think you want to keep talking to me. Coming up next, answering more of your questions. Eating better is easy with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to go in just 2 minutes. You'll have over 35 different options to choose from every week, including Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Also, there are more than 60 add-ons to help you stay fueled up and feeling good all day long. What are you waiting for? Get started today and get after your goals. 2-minute meals. You can fuel up fast with Factor's restaurant quality meals that are ready to heat and eat wherever you are. Pancakes, smoothies, and more. Discover a wide variety of easy options for the entire day, like breakfast, midday bites, and more. There's no prep and there's no mess. Factor meals are ready to heat and eat, so there's no prepping, cooking, or cleanup required. They're flexible for your schedule. You can get as much or as little as you need by choosing your meals every week. Plus, you can pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. Factor is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, premium options with no cooking required. Sign up and save. We've done the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. Head to factormeals.com/lockedonmlb50 and use code LOCKEDONMLB50 to get 50% off. That's code LOCKEDONMLB50 at factormeals.com/lockedonmlb50. Welcome back. After you're done here, make sure to watch Locked On Sports Today. It's the Locked On Network's 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and it's pretty cool. You can put it on and watch other Locked On podcasts while you work, while you clean up around the house, or maybe even while you're exercising. That's Locked On Sports Today, streaming 24/7 on YouTube. Some more questions for Fanmail Friday. Okay, our next question comes from DJ In 9345. What was your favorite non-Soto or Stroman addition to the team? I've been catching some spring training games when I can and have been impressed with some of the at-bats from Trent Grisham, who I hadn't seen play a lot, but would love to hear your take. Love your show. Thank you so much for that. And I apologize. I've never done Fan Mail Friday by myself, so this is it'll be better next week, I swear. I agree. I'm actually excited about Trent Grisham. You know, we've talked about him a few times on the show, and I like the fact that he can play outfield, but they're not expecting him to always play outfield. But also, I like that he's an outfielder who's going to be the fourth outfielder. You know what I mean? It's not going to be IKF. No offense to IKF. He did everything the Yankees asked him to do in 2023. But he was really an infielder playing the outfield, and we have an outfielder who can play the outfield, and he can occasionally hit the ball. He hits lefties well, and I feel like Grisham is a good addition, and as much as it pains me to say this as a Yankee fan who rooted against him for so long, but I think the Verdugo addition will be good too. Let me know what you guys think about that, but I think he'll be a good addition to the team as well. Next question from NYY Hulkamaniacs. Hey, Stacey, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you. My question is, do you think the Yankees should re-sign Torres or try to sign Soto long-term? Why not both? I'm going to be the little girl from the taco commercial. Why not both? Soft or hard shell? I wish they could do both. I know they won't because Hal will want to not go too far over the luxury tax because he's already going to be penalized for doing it. Oh, this is tough. It's tough because my heart wants Torres to remain a Yankee for the rest of his career. I can't help it. I love Gleyber. He loves the team so much, and I think he can be a really good Yankee and a really good player for the rest of his career. But Juan Soto is like one of those generational players, and if I have to choose between those two, I think I'm picking Juan Soto, and I don't think it's crazy for me to say that. But again, why not both? Why not both? Okay, thank you for the question. Next, Big Georgie 333 from YouTube. You're doing a great job, Stacey. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I kind of have a fun question. Have you seen the movie War on the Diamond? It's about the long history of the Yankees and the then Indians rivalry. Personally, I never considered New York and Cleveland as a big rivalry. What are your thoughts on it? Thank you very much. I thought they were a rivalry whenever they played them in the playoffs, 97, 2007. What other time did they play? Oh, 98. Hello. I mean, they went up 2-1 in the ALCS. And after what happened in 97, I thought to myself, are they really going to lose to them again? Thankfully, they did not lose to them in 1998. It's actually really funny that you specifically mentioned those two teams. Oh, and no, I have not seen that movie. I'll have to look it up and watch it. It's funny that you bring up those two teams because when I was in college, the guy I liked, I'll say it, the guy I liked, he lived next door to me my first year I transferred up to Oswego, and then we lived in the same house the following year. He was a Cleveland Indians fan, then the Indians. They were not the Guardians at the time, which is why I'm calling them by their old name, just to, He was from Buffalo. His father was a Yankee fan, and he picked Cleveland to kind of be a rival with his father. So, of course, he and I got into some heated stuff. Because we just did. So it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because that question brought me back to college and thinking about Tim liking Cleveland, even though he lived in Buffalo and his father was a Yankee fan. I always thought that was kind of odd. Do other people do that? Are any of you Yankee fans and your family members are fans of other teams? There's actually one of our insiders who joined recently let me know that her and her mom were Red Sox fans, but her father and brother her and her mom are Yankee fans, and her father and brother are Red Sox fans. And I thought to myself, well, that had to be something growing up in that house. And it's similar to my house in regards to I was raised Catholic like my mother, and my brother was raised Greek Orthodox like my father. It's sort of the same. But yeah, anyone else pick a different team from your parents or whoever got you into baseball? Because I feel like my father would have disowned me if I became a fan of any other team besides the Yankees. But I know that it's a thing, and I know that people do that. So thank you for all of your questions. I appreciate it very much. Again, YouTube, leave them under the pinned comment. I will do better with leaving pinned comments on the videos. I forgot to do it for Tuesday and Wednesday, but I did it for Monday and Thursday. But next week, I will do it Monday through Thursday. And again, one more time, don't forget to join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club, and you will get top priority on Fanmail Friday. Coming up next, the Spring Breakout roster was released, and we have some injury news. Fire TV is your destination for sports, from live games to highlights to in-depth analysis. Fire TV offers amazing viewing experiences with smart TVs, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV that provides access to millions of movies and TV episodes, as well as free and live TV. Whether it's opening weekend for baseball or the college basketball tournament, you're going to want to have a Fire TV. Fire TV recently created Fire TV channels to deliver a constant supply of the latest videos from your favorite sports brands, all for free, and that includes all of us at Locked On and most of the big pro leagues and college conferences as well. Fire TV channels let you dive into all of the game analysis, highlights, and more to keep up to date on all the latest in the world of sports. So that includes March Madness, NBA, MLB, and lots more. Not to mention great news, entertainment, gaming, travel, and even cooking videos. Check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and Alexa devices. If you haven't checked out Fire TV channels, you should. Trust me on this. To learn more, visit www.amazon.com/LockedOnFireTV. Welcome back to the final segment of Locked On Yankees. We're going to talk about the Spring Breakout roster. If you don't know what the Spring Breakout is, the Yankees are playing a 7-inning game at George M. Steinbrenner Field on March 16th. It'll be a squad of the top talent from the Yankees farm system. They will host a team comprised of the best and brightest players with rookie eligibility from the Blue Jays. The contest will be part of a doubleheader at George M. Steinbrenner Field. It'll be following a 105 game between the big clubs, New York and Toronto. So the Yankees are set to have 3 of their top 100 prospects in uniform for the breakout game. Spencer Jones, shortstop Roderick Arias, and righty Chase Hampton will be in the game, which is pretty cool. This is actually going to be a 4-day event. In case you didn't know about this, they announced this earlier in the year, but the Spring Breakout is a 4-day event showcasing baseball's future, the current stars of minor league baseball. The inaugural edition will be held from March 14th to 17th at both Grapefruit and Cactus League stadiums during spring training. It's a series of 16 exhibition games, and I think it's cool that they're doing this, and I hope that they keep this up. So this is the full roster for the Yankees Spring Breakout game, which is in 8 days? 8 days. Okay, so pitchers: Chase Hampton, Will Warren, Henry Lillane, Brock Selvage, Kyle Carr, Carlos LaGrange, and Jack Neely. Some of those names will sound familiar because I've mentioned some of those names. Selvage and Carr are the 2 lefties there. Catchers: Ben Rice, Agustin Ramirez, and Rafael Flores. Infielders, as I said, Infielders, as I said, Arias. Also, George Lombard Jr., Yorbit Bibas, Rock Riggio, Jared Cerna. You know that name if you're an everydayer. Kiner Delgado, Caleb Durbin, Jesus Rodriguez, TJ Rumfield, Emmanuel Tejeda, and then Jones, Everson Pereira, you know him, John Cruz, Anthony Hall, Jace Avina. Now, out of those guys, I was told by a little birdie that you should look out for Anthony Hall. He has a chance to break out and shock people. He's the number 29 prospect for the Yankees in their system. So yeah, again, they're playing the Blue Jays on a day when the big club is playing the Blue Jays, and it should be a fun event. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of games going on across baseball, and it's to highlight the kids, which they should do more in baseball. And then we have injury news. Oswald Peraza is still feeling something in his shoulder. He's being sent for imaging. And the issue began on February 25th. He returned to the lineup on the 5th. He played second base against the Marlins the other day. He played against the Mets at shortstop. And Boone said he felt like he couldn't really rip it across the diamond like he would have wanted. We'll see what we've got there and continue to treat it accordingly. And I will say he did make one throw that was kind of odd the other day that I noticed. He looked uncomfortable when he was playing shortstop against the Mets. So that is not great for Oswald, because Oswald is one of those guys who is fighting for a position on the team. He wants to be on the big club. He doesn't want to be in AAA anymore. And if they're not going to play him, they need to trade him. But now, have we gotten to the point where it's too late to, because he's going to have something major wrong with his shoulder? Let's hope not. So yeah, sent for imaging, and, you know, we'll see what happens with that. Let's just hope for the best for Oswald Peraza. One more time before I go and let you go. Have a nice weekend. Don't forget to join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description below and a 14-day free trial. You get texts from me, and you can text me questions for Fanmail Friday, and you will get priority on Fanmail Friday. So that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on Monday.